All right, how do we start joking and having fun after that, Trent? It's a toilet. That's where it seems like the world is going. So sometimes right down the drain. And you know what? We're gonna deliver some news that's far less important. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. Hey, we have to talk. Unfortunately, we have to deal with tragedies, but also, you can't. Your mental health is important too, and you gotta unfortunately kind of just you got to entertain yourself at some point, or else you go absolutely crazy. So yes, we do have to joke, but just know that all of the victims are at the forefront of our minds. Let's just say that.
And right now, the Yankees up 2-0 against the Baltimore Orioles.
Who cares
and
about the damn Yankees?
it's a one runners at first and third, 2 outs for the O's. The leading run is at the plate for Baltimore, so dramatic situation here. I'm sitting hoping that the Yankees can go into the weekend series against the Tampa Bay Rays, second place Tampa Bay Rays in the AL East, off of a win, because I'm going to the game on Saturday, Trent.
Well, we were talking about being positive a few minutes ago.
Oh.
I do have to tell you that you're making that drive cross country not cross country, cross state.
Yes.
To Tampa, and it kind of feels cross country just because you're going so far. But anyway, I hope that it's deja vu from a year ago, man. Remember Jameson Taillon pitched like last time you went to the game? You went to one on what, like May 13th or May 14th or something last year. It was somewhere around there. And Jameson Taillon was terrible, and for the Yankees and the Rays, absolutely let him up. And keep in mind, Tropicana Field is not an easy place to play for the Yankees. If you're the Yankees, a lot of Yankees fans despise that stadium for many reasons, one of which being the Yankees being unable to win hardly at Tropicana Field. I mean, they become better the past couple of years, but, I don't know. All I can say is good luck, man. But hey, I was saying this. Appreciate those you love. I love you, Rich. But this Saturday, this weekend, I'm going to be rooting on my team.
Oh yeah. Hey, I really hope that it's different this time. So far, 0 for 1 living in Florida and going to Yankee games. Actually, I'm 0 for everything because I went to a Jet game in Jacksonville. They lost that. I went to a Knick game in Orlando. They lost that. I went to a Yankee game last year in Tampa. They lost that. So I can't go see a win, Trent, for whatever reason. It just doesn't happen for me. So maybe I am the kiss of death for the New York Yankees on Saturday, and maybe that's why we've seen really a team that had a historically great start all of a sudden facing its incredible adversity in the last 5 days, all of the injuries, the COVID protocols, everything that's been going on with this team. We'll get into it a little later on. And by the way, the Yankees did win this game, so they take 2 out of 3 from the Orioles, going into that 4-game series with the second place Tampa Bay Rays this weekend. I will be there on Saturday. Trent was also at a playoff game, a clinching playoff game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. That must have been an incredible experience. We're going to get to that as well in the Super Radio Brothers Sports segment. Right now, it's time for the news, Trent. And as you know, we start with the poop news. And this is a very interesting story, okay? Now I
imagine.
I mean, that's true. I shouldn't even have to say that. You know, when you're getting news on the Super Radio Brothers, it's going to be a very interesting story. It just is. It always is, especially with the lead and the poop. And this one is good, man. This is pretty good. So I know as we get older, a lot of people like to say,
you're getting older every day, as am I.
We are. And no one's getting younger. That's a good. Now, that would be a magic trick. How did you get younger?
Drink from the fountain of youth. That's the old myth.
Well, you got to find it first. There's the catch, right? There's the, but anyway, some people say when you get a little older, you stop caring about things as much. Well, the Rio Condo building, a few blocks away from Central Park. Now that's prime real estate. That's pretty cool. Probably a good building there in New York City. building management has filed a lawsuit against resident Helen Hirsch. Now, Trent, this woman is 83 years old. And why are they filing a lawsuit against her? They allege that she defecated in the fitness center's pool.
Oh my gosh.
It's one thing to pee in the pool, but to defecate, which I'm pretty sure means she pooped in there. I'm pretty sure.
That's a pretty safe bet.
I'm pretty sure that's what it means. In the fitness center's pool. And I used to go to the gym out here, really cool gym, very sad, went out of business recently. But they had a great grounds, nice area to run. I would run a couple of miles out in the woods, very cool, nice little trail that they had out there that you could run. And they had the sauna, the steam room, and the big pool where you would see people. Can you imagine finding a floater in your public pool? That's not cool, man. That's
no, it's not cool. And to be honest, I actually have a similar story because
Wait, what?
No, it was not me. I did not defecate in the pool.
Like well, I remember the time I defecated in the public pool, Rich. And we're gonna...
Yeah, I can honestly say that I have not done that, thankfully. But yeah, no,
it was
I do
somebody
not
you know, right? Wink, wink. So,
yeah, let's just say that. Well, they don't listen to this show, so I can talk about it. But anyway, I was a young kid. I was what's called a counselor in training at a local camp, and it was just a summer job while I was in high school. I needed something to do. So I did it, and it was fun until the day that we were all in the pool for their swimming activities. And next thing you know, management comes out and says, "Okay, everybody out of the pool." And I'm like, "What happened?" And somebody said somebody had used the restroom in the pool, and I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And I'm like, "Are you serious?" I mean, like, look, I don't. There are people that do it, but I don't like swim. I don't come and swim in your toilet, okay? I don't want you peeing in my pool because I don't swim in your toilet. It's common sense, dude. Before you get in the pool, use the bathroom. I mean, please just use the bathroom before you get in there, so you don't have to.
I was actually a New York City EMT, Trent. I'm pretty sure you know that.
And, I know.
I remember one time I had a midnight transport job where basically we were taking the person from the hospital to this place, Goldwater, which was basically a place for people who are sick to live and be monitored, and they go back and forth from the hospital. Go there. It's after midnight. I'm trying to find a nurse. It's like Resident Evil. I mean, we're like in this hospital. It's super dark. There's nobody there. So I decide I'm going to do the paperwork myself. I'm going to find the files and everything. And all of a sudden we hear a commotion, which is pretty scary considering where we are, and everything's dark, and it's almost like you're in this abandoned facility, but there are people there. There's this commotion, and all I hear is, "She did it again! She did it again!" I'm like,
oh boy,
what is this? I'm worried for my life. And then the guy walks in. He's like, "She shit and put it all over the walls again." I'm like, oh no. And then I see this person walk in with their pants down, shit all over their hands. It was the most dramatic, horrible thing I had ever seen. Needless to say, the work wasn't so important to me anymore, and I left. And I got out of there. But that was a pretty wild...
That was a shitty time, literally.
That was a wild experience, dude, because it was like, where are the nurses at? What's going on in here? And these freaking patients are going crazy, It was actually a mental institution, okay?
Oh, okay.
So, which I had a lot of... I could tell you stories. I have a history of working in... that was on our route sometimes. We would just wait outside of the mental institutions, and when someone had to go to the hospital or take them back there, we would be the ones to do it. So yeah, that was fun. But anyway, yeah, that was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, this woman, Helen Hirsch, 83 years old, she's being sued by the building management because they say she defecated in the fitness center's pool, and then again in the fitness center shower. This is all according to the New York Post. The lawsuit also alleges that the 83-year-old Hirsch screams and makes loud noises while using the gym and the pool, and doesn't always wear appropriate attire in the gym.
Ooh.
She was banned from the facilities, but apparently has snuck back in by following a real estate agent, touring prospective buyers, or catching an open door when other residents were leaving. Management has had to take both the pool and the fitness center out of use so both could be cleaned and sanitized. Now,
I imagine.
What do you think Hirsch says about all of this, Trent? What do you think she says about all of this?
What do you think she says? She says something to the effect of, "Yeah, I don't care," or like "This is ridiculous," or something like that, or "Here I am."
She's 83 years old. Remember, keep in mind, she's 83 years. She says, "I'm an old lady. Why should I tip you all the time?" She says that everybody wants a tip. That's it. This is about her pooping in the pool, and she goes, "I'm an old lady. Why should I tip you all the time? I don't want to live here anymore." And that was her statement.
I'm sure she doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why should I tip you all the time?
Yeah.
I have a tip. I have a tip for you, lady. Here's a tip. Don't poop in the pool ever again. How about that?
That's a good one. But can you imagine, ma'am, you're being sued for defecating in the shower and in the pool, and her response, "Why should I tip you?" What's going on?
I don't know. I don't get that one, but that's what a way to lead off. I mean, pooping in the pool. That's a literal poop story, and we've all had our adventures with manure over the years. And
is that true? Do you have science to back that up? There are manure adventures going on in this country I don't know about.
I'm not going to get too in depth into that. But,
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to. We do blow up our toilets all the time. So
I blow them up every day. Like I said, man. Sometimes multiple times a day.
Let me just stick with poop. How about this dude, Trent? Brazilian defender. He's on a soccer team. 34 years old. He was dismissed from the Lions squad. That's from Ligue 1 French Football League. So that's the French Football League. Do you know why he was dismissed?
No.
And by the way, he was also considered one of the leaders of the team. So it's not like this is some scrub. This dude's one of the leaders of the team. Apparently, he had an ongoing issue with passing gas and laughing inappropriately in the locker room while around his teammates.
So he was basically acting like a 7-8-year-old boy, but how old was he?
Can you imagine if, Aaron Judge, 17 home runs, hitting .314 for the New York Yankees. I wake up tomorrow. Aaron Judge has been released because he farted.
Because he farted and then laughed about it.
Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. He didn't even apologize. He laughed about it.
Oh man, that's just.
We released that dude because he farts.
I think us men, have done that several times. Shoot.
Fart and laugh about it.
Oh yeah,
that's a dad special. My dad used to do it that was his favorite thing.
Mine did too. Whenever my dad used to, whenever he farted, he would always blame it. I have two younger sisters. He'd always blame it on them. He wouldn't even admit that he did it. He said, "Hey, that was Nora, or that was Harper. That wasn't me," or stuff like that. And I used to do it whenever I was a kid. I laughed that way. Whenever I farted, absolutely, I laughed all the time.
But it's because your dad taught you that, and it's wrong. It's just wrong, and you get released from the soccer team.
There's a time and place for everything. It's human nature. Everybody does this. It's not like I'm going to walk into a meeting at my employer and fart and then laugh at it. That's not going to do. Hey, Rich. Oh man, that was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not like I'm going to do that.
No, there are people who, hey, I dug it when I was 7 years old, but there are dudes that dig it when they're 40. And it's like, shouldn't you be over that by now? Farting in public and laughing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I fart privately, but that's another story.
I fart privately, and I love it. I think it smells great, but everybody loves their own brand. That's
there's something wrong with you.
That's what they say. Everybody loves their own brand. It's
yeah. Oh my goodness, that's awful.
What you got, Trent?
Okay, so here we go. So I got a Florida man story. Can you imagine?
Oh, okay.
A Florida man decided to steal an entire stack of lottery tickets, returns in new clothes to steal sink. That's the headline of this story. You remember this?
I don't know. I don't know this one.
Okay. He was caught on camera stealing tickets, and he had a picture here in the article, which wouldn't do me any good because I wouldn't be able to see it. A thief tried a quick costume change after stealing as many lottery tickets as he could from a Fort Myers convenience store in June of I guess this is last year. I don't know why it's posted this, but anyway, whatever.
How dare they? I'm going to give them a call, Trent. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
I'll tell him, okay, Rich Carroll's calling you, so make sure you're out of the office whenever he gives you a call.
They won't answer the phone.
The man was caught on camera taking as many tickets as he could from a machine, then returning different clothing to attempt to snag the cash register and the safe, which turned out to be empty. And he ended up getting arrested, and he was charged for robbery on that one. So can you imagine? I could not imagine it being a charge for robbery on that. And I'm being sarcastic whenever I say that, because of course he would be charged for robbery and several other crimes, and he is now behind bars. So,
yeah, he should not be a free man.
I mean, think about it though. I mean, hey, he must have liked playing the lottery. Now, whenever you go to a convenience store, do you buy lottery tickets? I like doing the scratch offs every now and then.
Every now and then I pick up a scratch off, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that. Like, I've never, I don't really win. I think I won $10 off of a scratch off one time. And then I
think my max is 20. You're right. It doesn't get very high.
No, but I knew one person who actually won $500 off of a scratch off. So that was a great payday. Yeah. So I mean, I'm
gonna go buy 30 tomorrow after you told me that.
Good luck with that. Let's hey, the more you buy, the better your odds are, I guess. But yeah, I mean,
that's what I think. Thank you, Trent. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, it's common sense,
Yeah.
The more. But you still one in of how many million people live in this country? So
yeah, but I'm special. I'm meant to win.
Yeah, I don't think having the name Rich Carroll on your lottery ticket makes you very special. But hey, that everybody has their own opinion on that.
I obviously will agree to disagree. Okay.
Okay, absolutely. I am game with that. So what else you got?
Let's see. How about this? I like this headline, Trent. Does this make any sense to you? House. Yeah, it's not going to make any sense. Of course it's not. A house found abandoned on Louisiana Road in the middle of the night. A house.
A house.
A house.
Well, it didn't say it was a mobile home or anything.
No, it's a house found abandoned on a Louisiana road in the middle of the night.
I need more details.
Single-story house was found abandoned along with the truck and trailer hauling it. But apparently, it wasn't a mystery to police. According to the state, investigators immediately had a person of interest due to prior dealings with the homeowner identified as 46-year-old dumbass. Oh, no, wait. Tony Domingue. One doesn't simply...
What did you say his name was? Domingo?
Domingue.
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 I thought it was Domingo.
It should be Domingo. Something's wrong. Something's clearly wrong with this guy. One doesn't simply up and move a house. Local authorities had warned Domingue that permits were needed for the operation. So he wanted to move his house. He apparently ignored those warnings, and as a result, the midnight move damaged or destroyed many mailboxes, trees, and road signs. The house also took out utility lines, which reportedly cut power to 625 customers. As for why the house and truck were just abandoned in the street, it's unclear. In any case, authorities tracked down Domingue and arrested him along with his buddy because, hey, moving a house isn't a one-man job, and they're not getting a slap on the wrist either. Both are charged with criminal damage to property, obstruction of highway commerce, and violation of the parish ordinance. The bail set at a hefty $125,000. I guarantee you, Trent, that the permit would have been a lot cheaper than $125,000.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's a pretty wild story. What is going on?
What is going on? Whenever you read me the headline the first time, a house abandoned on a Louisiana road. That's scary. I mean, that really is.
Yeah, it's like a ghost house. What happened? It's like some type of time displacement. A house just manifesting, materializing in the middle of the road. What odd black magic is this?
Oh yeah, I mean it's like you drive past it and you're like, what is this? It's like, hey, where did that house go? It got abandoned. Don't worry about it.
I can't use that road because there's a house on it.
Yeah, well, there are houses on pretty much every road, dude.
Oh.
At least in a neighborhood. I mean, that's common sense. At least I don't plan on abandoning my house anytime
Don't do
soon.
that. That's a bad idea.
No. How about this? A Florida man, of course.
Wow.
Was we have to go up to Madison County. I have a grandmother that lives in Madison, Florida. It's kind of near Tallahassee. It's on the West Coast, a little bit north, but it's like 45, 50 minutes away from Tallahassee. And a little bit, you go east a little bit, go towards Jacksonville on Interstate 10. Anyway, it's out in the country. It's in way, way, way North Florida. But anyway, a Florida man, I didn't know there were Waffle Houses up here, but he tried to rob a Waffle House with a finger gun.
Finger gun?
A finger gun.
Wow.
A Florida man was put in jail in Madison County after he decided to improvise during an alleged robbery.
Well, Trent, I have to be honest about something here before you continue. I actually do own a finger gun. So
you do?
Yeah, 2 of them.
How often do you use them?
All the time. I'm using it right now. Pew pew pew. Video game. Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Video game. Yeah. That's coming up later. That's a little preview for video game news. I hope you liked it.
Okay. Yeah, that freaking intro. But anyway, Sheriff David Harper said that witnesses told deputies that William Rodriguez entered the Waffle House with a small dog, pointed his hands into finger guns, and yelled, "Get on the ground. Y'all are getting robbed." He told them. He said, "Y'all are getting robbed.
Getting robbed. Hope you enjoy the show." Pew, pew, pew.
And then he said Rodriguez then said he was high and drunk before grabbing some napkins and leaving the store. Yeah. Deputies found the would-be armed robber at his home, where he admitted to robbing the restaurant of its napkins, according to the sheriff's report.
Do you really need to rob napkins, though?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You just, walk in and, hey, grab a couple napkins. Is that robbing? I don't.
Whenever I go to a restaurant and there's napkins there, I don't ask to take them. I just take them.
I just take them, yeah.
Because they're there for the taking. I mean,
exactly.
How do they expect? I mean, if you order like pasta, or if you order like better yet, if you order like a burger or something and it's got like lettuce. It's got all the fixings on it,
Yeah.
and obviously you have to eat it with your hands and stuff. You're going to need that napkin to obviously make sure your area is clean, and make sure your body's, so you don't like spill anything on your food, on your shirt, and on your clothes and whatnot. How do they expect you to keep yourself clean? That's my question.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a service. This is complimentary, right? This is something that we need to.
I think the funniest thing is you're okay, y'all get on the ground. You're getting robbed.
It's like some dude robbing a train in 1870. This damn locomotive to stop. It's time to take the gold and the doubloons and the whiskey.
And the whiskey.
I don't even know what the hell a doubloon is, but I want it.
You want it.
I want it.
I
want other things too. Because I'm a criminal and an outlaw in 1870. And I got finger guns. Pew, pew, pew.
You were alive in 1870, weren't you, Rich?
Oh, yeah. I was a pretty young dude, but
I've seen you age well.
I've seen a lot. I am a vampire. So
you age really well.
Well, that's part of the advantage of being undead. But
no, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I do crave blood, which is a problem sometimes. But
I wish you wouldn't have told me that right before I'm going to go to bed after I do this program here. So if I have nightmares, I'm calling you tomorrow and blaming it on you. Okay?
Yep. I hunger, but I'll get over it.
All right.
Pew pew.
So hold on. Let me see. I got one more story here on my end. But what do you have first?
Oh, do I have something? I have a Florida man. So
I love Florida man.
So this dude, he's a landscaper. Apparently, he feels that a Brevard County man. He feels that this one house, they didn't pay for a past service. When he goes to get payment, apparently the people who used to own the house don't own it anymore. There are new owners. He still wants his money. So what do you think a good solution for that would be, Trent? You never got paid for the job.
Yeah, I'd say pay it up.
You say pay it up. Well, his solution was to blow up their mailbox.
Yeah, that's smart. It's very smart. Blow up their mailbox. What did he use to blow it up?
Well, that's not necessary. It was some type of explosive device. Obviously, the way they describe it is a device. That's all they say.
Okay.
But apparently, yeah, he showed up for the payment, and the owner of the home said he had told him to come to the house Friday before 2 because he would not be home until late. To get payment. We're going to figure this out. But he was just pissed off and he blew up his mailbox. So
okay.
I don't understand why now. Unfortunately for him, he destroyed the mailbox, and that wasn't just it. It bent a street sign next to the mailbox, threw shrapnel 50 feet from the detonation site. One of the neighbors was outside and nearby when the explosion happened. Pieces of shrapnel landed feet away from where they were standing. It's listed as a violent felony. So he's in a lot of trouble. He's facing charges, including discharging a destructive device, possession of a device meant to be to explode and cause bodily harm, and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon because he was also a felon. So,
well, I hope you enjoy your time behind bars there, buddy.
There had to be a better way to deal with that whole situation, I feel.
Yeah. And it's not even that hard to come up with several better ways to deal with it. So anyway, and finally on my end for the stories, Florida man uses a trash can. You know, Rich is he likes the Florida Gators in terms of his sporting teams. You know, he likes football, but in reality, there are several alligators in the state of Florida, of course, and there are safe ways to capture them, but using a trash can to capture them is not safe. Just giving you a heads up in case you
Are
didn't
you
know
sure
that.
about that?
I'm positive.
I don't. I think you might be mistaken. We're gonna have to talk about this, Trent.
Oh, okay, well, it's up to you. But I'll just read on to further prove my point.
Okay.
A Florida man managed to trap an unwanted guest in a trash can, and the video went viral, according to the article. Eugene Bozzi was armed with nothing more than a trash can when he trapped the 6-foot alligator.
Whoa.
Once the gator was in the trash can, Bozzi quickly got the trapped animal down an embankment near a retention pond, and he himself took off back up the hill.
I think I saw the
Bozzi
video
was-
of that. It's pretty wild. There have been some crazy animal videos going on. There was even one out of New York, Trent, New York City Dog Park, where the dogs are running around having fun, and then a big New York City rat goes in there, and the dogs just grab this rat. They're throwing it in the air. They're messing it up. I mean, pounding the rat. And the rat, after one of the dogs throws it, kind of gets up and just leaves. Like nothing. Yeah. Those dogs were beating the shit out of that rat. But
yeah, and apparently this dude was also had another incident of this type of thing with him kind of wrangling a snake in his neighborhood. I think a month or so after this story came out. Evidently he didn't learn his lesson.
It's not cool, dude. You should learn your lesson. All right.
Of course.
Here's another Florida story, and I'll just let you listen and check this one out. Trent, check this out.
Deputies say they are searching for the woman who they say was involved in a violent encounter at a McDonald's. The Polk County Sheriff's Office shared this surveillance video. The Sheriff's Office says Tianis Jones got angry about her online order. Deputies say Jones walked behind the counter and started throwing cups at employees.
But she created a McMess. And she acted like a McNutt.
A McNutt.
But you know what? She ended up a McBurglar.
Deputies say she was also
That's the
caught
sheriff,
on camera
by the way.
dancing as she made her
Grady
way
Judd,
out of the store. She is now wanted
Hey, you
on
watched the
felony
video.
charges.
She's not just
If you
dancing,
know where
she's
she
twerking.
Is, called Polk County Sheriff's Office.
She's twerking as she leaves the restaurant there after she caused all that destruction. And as the sheriff so eloquently said, she was a McNutt. So...
No, I mean that's crazy.
Oh, and Trent, she created a McMess. So
of course.
And now she's a McBurglar.
McBurglar. What a play on the words by Sheriff Grady Judd. It's and that's crazy because Polk County is just north of where I live, and it's insane because stuff like that happens. But my question is, why are you ordering online from McDonald's? I mean, can't you go? I understand that you can do that, but I mean, it's just faster. Ultimately, it's faster if you just go through the drive-through and get it. Or like from a fast food. Like I understand Uber Eats and stuff like that. I totally get that. But like, if you're close to the McDonald's, why don't you just go and get it? Like it's so much faster to do that anyway. And that way, and I know that if you go to an actual fast food restaurant, they're gonna mess up your order too, because it's happened to me all the time. But I mean, still, it's nuts.
It's crazy.
Now, do you like to whenever you want fast food, Rich? Something tells me you just drive through to the restaurant, drive through the drive-through window, and get it.
Usually. Yeah, that's usually the case. I find for whatever reason, if you do Uber or something, the order's always wrong. I got to go get it done myself. It's up to me.
You're using a third-party service to get it for you, whereas
it just doesn't work out. It doesn't work for me, man. Just drive to the store. So what's the big deal? Some people, they're lazy. What can I tell you? They're lazy. They don't want to... come on, man.
If I want a double cheeseburger that bad, I'm going to drive to the store and get it.
Why not? Just leave the house for once, will you, please?
Yes. I like to leave the house.
Oh, right. Hey, Trent, finally. I'll give you one last story here on my end. How about this? Let me ask you this question, Trent. Do you know what a payphone is?
I know there's a song by Maroon 5 called Payphone. But other than that, yeah, I know what a payphone is. Have I ever used one? No, because they were way before my time.
Whoa, me too.
But yes, to answer your question in a roundabout way, I know what a payphone is.
Okay, and at least growing up in New York, payphones were huge where I lived. Before cell phones and everything. And if you were in New York, back in the 90s, there were payphones everywhere. One of my memories being a young kid was there was a payphone in the corner, and there would be, I don't know, some young woman, I don't know where she was from in their neighborhood. She would go out there with a jar of quarters and be on that phone all night. It's like, man, people, this is what they would spend money on. Just be out there on the phone. But yeah,
how long, like the length of time that you were able to talk on the phone, did that depend on how many money you paid?
Yeah, you would. If you were too long, it would ask you for more money. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So it's kind of like calling collect. I used to have to call collect because whenever I was at the school for the I was never in jail or anything like that. But I'm very, very, very positive, Mr. Carroll.
Okay.
So I wanted to let you know I did have to, because whenever my first year at the boarding school at the School for the Blind, I had to actually call collect to call my mother, at night, and we had calling cards, and those calling cards only lasted for a little bit of time, and there was only a certain amount of minutes on that particular calling card. So, I mean, I remember there was one time where my mom and I got disconnected because we were talking, and the lady said, "Please put more money on your card, or else I'm going to disconnect this call." And obviously, I couldn't do that. I was just an 8-year-old kid. I was traumatized. I didn't know what to do because I was talking to my parents. I wanted to. So, yeah, I mean, I can imagine you want to make sure if you want to have a long conversation on the payphone, you better make sure you got money.
Yeah, you better make sure you have money, or you better make sure that the person that you're trying to reach has money, and then you'll be okay. And you got to make sure that what you want to talk about it is worthwhile. You don't want to call talking about what did you eat for breakfast this morning. There better be something important to talk about.
Yeah, it's got to be an actual, not necessarily an issue, but like if you're making plans for the weekend, I mean, you got to focus your conversation on that and just avoid the small talk at all costs. Hey, how about this weather we're having? Oh, man, it's going to rain today. It's going to do this, do that.
We're not looking for small talk here. This conversation is costing money, and it needs to be productive.
Right.
Very, very important. Well, I bring up payphones, Trent, because as a New Yorker, and I haven't been there now in about 7 years, so this is something that's kind of amazing to me. Crews remove last functioning payphone in New York City.
Wow.
Pretty historic type of deal here. Officials held a ceremony Monday for removal of the last public payphone in New York City. The payphone was removed with a crane from a sidewalk on 7th Avenue and 50th Street in Midtown Manhattan, just south of Times Square, making what officials called the end of the payphone era. Excuse me.
Excuse me while I get choked up.
A little emotional. Oh, boy. So emotional for me, Trent, the payphones. Whew. Trying to calm down. Okay.
You're very contradictory because you said they were before your time.
Oh, well, it's still, you hate to see, antiquated technology be eliminated. But anyway, now this is pretty interesting to me. So it's the end of the payphone era. Actually, the city began removing payphones in 2015. I was already in Florida at this point, so I didn't get to see this happening. Began removing payphones in 2015 as they became obsolete and started replacing them with public Wi-Fi hotspots. Oh, that's pretty clever.
Ooh, yeah.
Since then, the city's removed thousands of payphones across all 5 boroughs. In 2014, there were more than 6,000 active public pay telephones on city sidewalks. According to the city website, they were originally slated to be removed by 2020, but the process, as always, took longer than expected. Officials said it was the last public payphone in the city, but there are still privately owned payphones and 4 permanent full-length Superman phone booths. Instead of the payphones now, there are thousands of wireless kiosks run by Link NYC across 5 boroughs. So, hey, that's pretty cool. I would have never known that all the city payphones were removed and replaced with Wi-Fi. How about that? That's what you call efficiency. Eliminate antiquated technology and replace it with how humans communicate today. So, I don't know. I thought that was pretty amazing, especially coming from New York. And payphones were just a major part of the scenery. You know, everywhere you went, there was a payphone. Crazy.
Now, pretty much everywhere by hotspots. So, I mean, they're taking. Hey, don't get me wrong, Rich. I didn't know. Whenever I first got my smartphone, I didn't know. You know, I didn't necessarily appreciate it right away. But now I do, and now I appreciate public Wi-Fi much more because hey, not everywhere you go you're gonna have Wi-Fi sometimes, so you're gonna need that if you need to do something via the internet, and it costs your data plan, that's for sure. But hey, you know, hooray for Wi-Fi! What can I tell you?
Hooray for Wi-Fi!